You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and they've said it since our creation. Eternal nights. You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in You're painting faces of angels, twisting in pain, then set ablaze for suffering without a reason. Is your favorite kind of game. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and they've said it since our creation. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and I've said it since our creation. Eternal nights. You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in You're painting faces of angels, twisting in pain, then set ablaze for suffering without a reason. Is your favorite kind of game. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in these eternal nights. You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and I've said it since our creation. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in You're painting faces of angels, twisting in pain, then set ablaze for suffering without a reason. Is your favorite kind of game. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and they've said it since our creation. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in hell. You're painting faces of angels, twisting in pain, then set ablaze for suffering without a reason. Is your favorite kind of game? Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and they've said it since our creation. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in hell. You're painting faces of angels, twisting in pain, then set ablaze for suffering without a reason. Is your favorite kind of game? Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and they've said it since our creation. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights?
Introduction duties.
He's backing out. He's backing out. He's backing out.
Take
Let's
it,
go.
take it. I'd like to keep my job.
Blitzmonk, take us away.
Hi everyone, welcome back to campaign 3. I don't know what we are. We don't have a name, but we do have a host of incredible, lovely people and the most incredible game master in the world. We are back. We are back for Changing Carceri. There are going to be devilish antics. There's going to be betrayal, treason, honeyed words, seduction. There's going to be at least 2 honeypots. I've received personal assurances. My return, there was a stipulation there would be at least 2 honeypots in this campaign. So subscribe, and you'll get to see a honeypot. This is so exciting. We're all so happy to be back. I missed everyone so much. Can we go now to Merch Corner? This is so much fun! Oh, yay! Merch Corner!
Hell yeah. It is very simple this week as we are back. It's a black shirt on the front. There's a white logo that is the same as you see in the lower left-hand corner of the stream window. And on the back, it just says, "We back" in impact font.
We're back. Yeah! Oh! I want one so bad.
There will be, Shan, if you could roll me a D100 plus 6.
Oh my god, I forgot about this.
Hold on.
There will be 32 shirts available. Get them all you
Limited run.
I've bought one already.
Yeah.
I also bought one just some.
Guys.
We're gonna pass the corner. Lucy.
Lucy Corner. Spooky.
Oh yeah, I'm Spooky Corner. Okay, I don't have much spooky in my life at the moment. You know what's spooky? Aging.
Yep.
But also, actually, there was something spooky like literally 5 minutes ago, right? I was just sat here listening to everyone talk, and suddenly I heard this screaming outside. I don't know if anyone else heard. I think it might be the birds. Sometimes the birds have a fight outside my window.
The fuck?
Yeah. Sometimes it's also foxes. Foxes famously sound like dying people when they yell. Anyways, Art Corner.
Ooh, welcome back, everyone. On our corner, speaking of spooky and everything, we had an earthquake here yesterday.
Whoa!
That earthquake happened because I was so excited because I knew this was happening. No, there really was an earthquake though. That actually was a thing. But
holy shit,
we're good.
That is spooky.
And I'm excited. I can't breathe, but I'm excited.
I'm concerned.
It's fine. Welcome, Chained in Carceri, baby.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. I don't have a recap to read or to say because we simply have not done one yet. Because we're starting right now.
We could go over Bitopia and, from beginning to end.
Oh god.
How do you summarize Bitopia?
Screaming,
Pain.
crying,
Yeah.
shitting, throwing up.
Stress.
Struggle.
Maybe
evil.
Maybe want to start smoking cigarettes again.
Yeah.
Trauma.
A lot of trauma.
Yeah. But Lowen was there, so it was okay.
Comparably, how would one describe Arborea then?
Oh
Whimsy.
I don't know about that. I feel like it was like simmering evil under the whimsy.
Was there? I guess there was,
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
there?
good.
I kind of
Simmering evil under the whimsy is it.
yeah.
We
that's my
did ride
DM
in the
style,
giant
man.
slug.
That's
Yeah.
true. And
There
everyone
was
had
there was a
New
lot
York
of
accent.
silliness in Arborea, yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
Some
there was
very
actually a lot of
serious
tragedy.
subjects.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
My summary is I wasn't there really, so.
I don't know when.
crazy happenings in our body.
Crazy happenings. All right. Well, in that case, let's start Chained in Carceri, our third campaign. What a deep honor and privilege it is to be back. Since the last game, we've gone off, lived our lives for a few months. I had a baby, came back, and now we are returning as level 20 devils who are movers and shakers in the hells. And this campaign will be starting at level 20 and moving backwards towards level 5, maybe even level 1. Super exciting stuff. So our players today are very powerful people. They're going to make my life hell, and I've accepted that. That's part of life. Let's start. Let's start. Let's start. Okay. A lone imp flaps its tattered wings over the war-torn plains of Avernus. It limps through ash-laced air towards the Razory, a crooked tower that juts from the exposed bone of a long-dead titan, rising like a black splinter from the sea of dread. The tower looms above the endless sands, silhouette sharp against a red, blistered sky. In the distance, the dock of Fallen City groans as another metropolis is dragged downward by colossal infernal chains. The imp lands, pathetically, on the tower's cracked ledge. His peg leg scrapes stone. He stumbles, rights himself, and scurries up a spiraling stairwell of blackened rock. The tower is silent. No glass frames the windows, no banners stir, no portraits mark its walls, only shadows and the gathering deposits of sand. At last, the imp reaches the highest chamber of the Razory. It bows low, trembling. My liege, a message from Nessus. Blitzmonk, would you like to introduce your character?
Sat in a chair made of wrought bone is this three-headed monstrosity. It is the body, the red, sort of organ-colored body of an archdevil, with two other heads, one on each shoulder. There is a main head with three horns, looking almost bored, tired, looking out at the approaching imp. There is another head, very bulky, stocky. Looks like it's sleeping with its fangs protruding from its mouth. And then on the other side is a smaller head, the head of what looks like a woman with matted, long hair, blonde, very pale skin, and she looks to be asleep. And this devil looks down at the imp and uncrosses his fingers, leans forward an inch, and the fiery light through the stained glass windows catches his faces, and through the mouth on the middle head he speaks. He waits a moment and he pronounces, he declares, tell me.
I've got a picture here for everyone's admiration. The imp holds up a scroll in one hand. as if to offer it to you. Too terrified to even speak in your presence.
With a clawed hand, he takes the scroll and sort of flicks his wrist to unravel it.
You notice that the scroll has not been tampered with, as far as you can tell. There is a seal, and the symbol on which is in red wax. You see that this is the seal of Nessus, which is the lowest plane, or I guess the lowest part of the plane in the 9 hells. You see the glaring eye of the Lord of the Hells, Asmodeus, in wax, split in half beneath your finger as you flick it open. Inside, you read that there is a summons to Nessus, where you are expected to travel via portal to a place called Carceri. In Carceri, there will be a court proceeding for the Lord of Kanaya, Mephistopheles. You're expected to attend, and your absence will be noted if it occurs.
Good. Be gone. Go, feed yourself.
The imp kind of flicks its wings with a small kind of delight that comes when you accomplish a task well, and skitters off. You can hear the think thunk.
Come.
Manish!
You will come with me.
Me to Nessus?
You will come.
You hear someone flapping on the wind, approaching the large window at the top of the rosary. It's reserved for people of high esteem for you.
My attention is drawn. I look up.
You see a woman approaching. She is covered in thick black feathers. She has broad, strong wings that are also composed mostly of black feathers. She has this kind of glint in her eye, infernal eyes, bright red, as she lands on the edge of the windowsill, like perches, and kind of crouches down. You recognize her as a harpy. She is one of the people that serve you. And she lowers her head and says, "My lord."
For the news, then.
Good news. As expected, the Lord of Kanaya was captured and deposed quickly by our team.
I expect no less.
She kind of flits her tongue out like a lizard, and like takes a peek up through a thick fringe, and she notices that you have the summons in your hand, and you see that her eyes glint in the light. She says,
Will you go to the trial, Lord Dis?
I see word has spread quickly then.
We could not help it.
I will go. In my absence, I will need you to be vigilant. Understood?
Understood, my lord.
Good.
you hear the snickering just behind you in the corner of the room from the imp that you had spoken to earlier. He says, under his breath, he says, "Like he has a choice."
Silence! Stop your chittering.
It silences. It silences.
I will call for you when I have need of you. You irritate me. Be gone now. Be gone. Both of you be gone.
Both of them bow deeply. They mutter kind of reverences under their breath. "My lord, excuse me, my lord," and then
Good.
the harpy falls off the side of the window and wings opening, catches the air of Avernus and flies off. Stub, the imp, turns and down the stairs.
I watch him. With admiration once his back is turned. He's a good little guy. I nod approvingly at his waddling back. Good. Each time he takes my slander with fully on the chest, I approve of him more and more. I lean back, and my attention is not long. It does not take long before it is returned to the letter, and I consider the upcoming trial of Mephistopheles, stroking one of my chins with my claws and pondering.
The summons is considerably immediate. It's not urgent, but it's like a let's go.
I will proceed down the stairs of my tower to have someone arrange a portal for me, and I will ensure that someone sends for Stub as well. He might think that he has got the afternoon off after bringing me this scroll, but alas, he will have little peace before he is brought to my side.
Incredible. As expected. As you move down the stairs in the Black Spire Tower of the Razory, the camera pans over your shoulder across the Sea of Dread. There's windswept sands that flutter across our vision, and the camera suddenly dips and plummets. Down, down, down we fall down craggy, jagged cliffs. Lava explodes in plinths, and below lies a vast obsidian plain. The Cinder Mirror, a cracked, glassy expanse of hardened magma that stretches out like a frozen lake. The river Styx winds through it, sluggish and seething, waters running deathly hot. And when pressure rises, the crust shatters, and lava spews skyward in furious jets. And at the heart of the scorched basin stands a solitary doorway, hewn from lava stone. It leads nowhere. A single figure wearing black robes steps across the glade, their footprints pooling with lava in their trail. They reach the doorframe to nowhere and step through, disappearing. Caladan, a voice inside. What took so long? I bear a summons. Take me to them. A summons? To where? From who? It is all true. The Furies descended on the Lord of Kenai in his bedchambers mid-brood. That is what we witnessed. Now take me to them. This is a summons from the Lord of the Hells. And the two wind through the empty chamber to whom they seek. Art, would you like to introduce your character?
Right, so, as they eventually end up walking forward, they see, the one who's walking, is it one of mine who's walking?
Indeed, they are both one of yours.
Right. So as they're approaching what looks like, it's basically a temple, and the stairs are leading up, and you see a row of actually 6 figures. There's 6 figures there, all in the same black robes, but their faces are kind of hidden. They're shaded, so you don't really catch a glimpse. You see the silhouette of them. And as the other two approach, one of them speaks up. What do you have for me?
Summons from Nessus.
Then you see one of them gesture with their hand, almost like to read it.
Indeed. One of the figures, the figure that had stepped across the Cinder Mirror earlier, steps forward, their black cloak ragged at the edges and burnt from the flames that have spewed up. Steps closer, holding the scroll out to one of these figures, and upon this kind of tarnished looking scroll there is a seal. It does not look tampered with, and on it you see the eye of Asmodeus watching you.
So he summons the Faceless One.
Indeed.
And then another one speaks up. And then the faceless one shall come.
They exchange a glance between the two of them, a kind of knowing, excited, anticipatory glance. And then they both look towards the row of figures and bow their head very reverently, and they say, "Is there anything you would ask of us, Lord?"
Another one speaks up. You've done your due diligence. You can go.
As you wish. The two of them stalk backwards until they reach the edge of the room, the precipice of this kind of atrium hall where these figures are. They don't dare turn their back until they reach this hallway and the doors kind of close. And echoing through the chamber as they leave, you can hear their whispers, guessing what might happen, who might be on trial.
And the 6 figures, they're all lined up, and the one to the far right, who hasn't spoken yet, begins to walk downstairs, while the others just stay in place. And as that one walks down, you now see what they look like. It's about a 6'5". For the most part, looks human. As he looks a bit weathered, and if I could get my token. And that's what he looks like as one of them starts to walk downstairs without a word.
Incredible. As you kind of walk down out of the temple, you see the camera moves over your shoulder and again pans eastward, and it seems to gather traction across the face of the cinder mirror, dodging left and right out of the way of lava plinths spewing up until it reaches the fugue steps. The climb, impossibly skyward, is filled by slavering bodies of lemures who are slugging volcanic rocks under the lash of cambions. Past the bodies, where the steps finally ascend, jagged platforms of salt and scorched silver expand out into the ashen expanse, a desert of pale dust where titanic statues lay toppled and half buried. To where we go now, there is no pathway, there's no road or drive. The mesa is somehow unnoticeable unless one knows exactly what to search for. It disillusions from plain sight like an oasis. Null Crest, known by few and reached by fewer, the camera pans closer, past the wards and swollen magic, to the only structure for some 100 miles. Here, the library did not sit on land so much as cling to it, half embedded in the side of the shattered basalt where the earth had split like cracked glass from some kind of ancient divine blow, and it is as if the library had cracked along with it. The camera pans inward and twists. It turns in on itself, following bookshelves that spiral upward and downward in impossible directions, curving through the air like the vertebrae of some kind of colossal extinct serpent. Gravity feels negotiable here, or at least relative. Staircases run sideways across obsidian walls, and bridges of rolled parchment crisscross overhead. The camera finds where floating way stations hang like lanterns in the gloom. Pointing one way, the Index of Fallen Saints, another, the Scripta Reliquium. Pointing another way, the Index of Malevolence. And this is where we follow. Heavy wooden doors open for us. Whisperlists haunt our peripheries, but indeed what emerges from the dark is not a whisper light at all, but something made physical. Ink made form. It wobbles into view at a solitary desk.
I hope I do not disturb your writings, Lordy, but I am born of a message sent by your favorite, Malthus Quarix.
And Denny, would you like to introduce your character?
Are you muted?
It wouldn't
Yes, I
be Denny
was.
unless he's muted.
Yay!
Yay!
The camera sort of spins around from this inkling little creature and faces this man, if you can call it that, sitting at a desk, surrounded by scrolls, books, and arcane trinkets. He appears to be just like furiously doing some sort of math as he barely looks up and says, "What does that fool want?"
It seems like a summons from Nessus is in order. Some kind of trial?
Perfect. I suppose I cannot trust you to watch over the sanctum.
It's grins innocently, like little tiny ink drops fall from its little ink fangs.
You see this man stand up, and you can get the full sort of vision of him. I'll pull the little guy out. Swoop.
Here goes the guy.
He's about 6'4", large frame. He's got large curling ram horns adorned with golden and sapphire jewelry. Wide face and a wide beard with a mustache that are white. Glowing golden eyes with no iris or pupil. As he has detect magic up 24/7. Flowing constellation covered robes over a white sort of like open fancy shirt. His hands and neck are both adorned with many rings and necklaces of gold, sapphire, and emerald. He stands up and using the Secret of Peaceful Summons will summon a devil. We don't need to do the stat block or anything, but this like large winged, almost Cambion appears out of nothing as a magical circle appears beneath his feet before he shows up. He looks towards Quintilius, who looks back and says, "I should return within the day. You are to make sure these mischievous ones," and he looks over to the ink.
The ink's already like gone. There's like a trail off the table.
"Do not do anything too uncouth. Do you understand?"
Of course, my lord.
Thank you. And then he will walk over, snap his fingers as he walks through a teleportation circle on the ground, and go to where he needs to go.
Period. There's a flurry of magic and a kind of burst of infernal flame as you disappear in your teleportation circle. The camera pans back out. You can see the ink on the windowsill is kind of watching over the plains with wide little ink eyes, and we pan right past it. It's definitely going to get up to something mischievous. But as we move outward, we move straight down the edge of Nullcrest and down, down, down through the floors. Our camera sinks past the bottom of Avernus. The screaming of the Blood War fades. Dis, the Iron City, flicks by. Mineros, Phlegothos, glimpses down, down. Stygia, Malboge, Meladomne, Canya. And we finally slow and descend from the sky of Nessus, the ninth and final layer of hell. Here the blistering heat is enough to make even the most seasoned devils shudder. From the perch above the obsidian oculus, where an eye of black glass watches all sanctioned movement within Nessus, the camera observes a procession unfold. a stream of infernal magnificence, heading all towards a single rolling red-black portal. High Lords of the Pit, envoys of the Iron Dukes, cloaked inquisitors from the Infernal Concord all pass through the portal one by one, all silent, stately, grim. The portal to Carceri had not been opened in an age, perhaps even ever. Not for a war, not for a feast, not even for a banishment of Levistus. But this trial was something different. From the height of a balcony, someone watches. Lucy, would you like to introduce your character?
So, the camera wouldn't have been amiss to have completely panned over her. She, in her stately silence and stillness, almost seems to blend in with the environment around her. She is a tall, elegant figure. Even when she moves, though it is rare, it is certainly possible. Hardly a thing about her seems to sway. Light kind of flickers off of what appears to be a metallic casing, maybe be the word, or perhaps a tomb is a better phrase. It's sort of colour of patina, green, dark, strange, though the knuckles on her steepled hands are bronze. And she gazes down at the procession with an expression that holds unshakable sorrow.
You feel a presence moving out from inside to the balcony beside you. You see beside you a blue devil. They are adorned in frivolous amounts, especially in your opinion, of lavish jewelry, all types of gems, thick across its body, chains, diamonds, rubies. Each time it moves, it glints like a kaleidoscope of color, and he holds a goblet in his hand full of some red liquid, and he swivels it slightly as he also overlooks the procession with a small kind of smirk, and he says, "You'll have to join them at some point, you know."
I know.
No, don't look so excited.
She kind of turns her head, and it's this kind of smooth motion that doesn't betray the inner workings of musculature or ligaments. And she looks upon him with an unmoving expression.
No, don't look at me like that.
I make my presence when he calls upon me.
Swivels his goblet and takes a big swig. You know that this person will not be attending. They dwell here, and they dwell here only. Their name is Avestus. They say, send my regards then, won't you, when he calls?
There's something in her eyes that almost looks like it could be a smile. If he asks for your regards, I will send them to him.
He lets out like a and finishes his drink and another big swig, as if he wants to be as drunk as possible before this night ends. And he says, I think we will be very good friends.
I didn't ask what you thought.
He laughs again and disappears off back to where he came. And you're left alone on the balcony overlooking the procession.
I turn and am I far from my station?
No, this whole place is your station. You're exactly where you need to be.
Okay. I look upon a nearby shadow. Watch him, will you?
The shadow wobbles.
I don't care much for his words. Let's see what his actions are.
The shadow shrinks as if it's disappearing, as if moving off somewhere else.
Okay, I will just stay here and wait until I'm called upon.
Incredible. It does not take long for the procession to dwindle down to a few, I guess, stragglers. At this point, you know that it won't be long until he also arrives, and so it is expected that you probably should go first, evaluate.
Okay, I will head down.
Incredible. I'll all assume move through the portal to Carceri. Does anyone not do that?
I certainly do. I want to be in the campaign too.
Incredible. Let's do a map. This map, you can drag yourselves out right down the south here. Making sure everyone's vision is right. So if you drag out and don't see anything, don't freak out.
Whoa.
Let's go, jump, go!
Oh, whoops. Where did I put myself?
This is gonna break so many computers. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah. Oh, its computer's trembling. I can feel it.
It's moving. The smoke is moving.
The smoke's moving!
That's it. I'm changing Thursday to Jumpgate. It's happening.
It's so good, dude.
Surprisingly, my laptop's perfect.
Yay!
Oh, there's my silly little...
Oh, what do they look like? We didn't see.
Oh, sorry. Let me bump them up.
Let's go! Wow, that's sick.
Cool.
Everyone has vision. Blitz, are you
I can't. Like my guy is like I'm dragging something around, but
Does that work?
I don't know if it's. I don't know.
There he is.
I don't know.
I
If...
see
There he
him.
is.
Oh, wait.
Are you in the right
wait!
spot?
Oh my god! No, I wasn't. This is huge. What the
Yeah.
hell? Oh my god!
Surprise shot you.
Okay, I'm here. I've got it. Thank you.
Cool. You all find that you enter at the same time, which is kind of as the last dregs of people are attending this trial. You witness each other. For context, you have probably known of each other. You've heard rumors. But the space of the Nine Hells is enormous. So there are so many people that are always vying for power. So maybe distant acquaintances. Perhaps you have more intertied backstories, if that's been discussed. But other than that, you know of maybe each other, but not each other directly. You emerge into this place. There's a kind of wind from the west, and from this kind of sundered land rides it. There's a kind of vague stench of blood. All around there's something kind of haunting about this place, which is a lot to say for a devil, right? There's something haunting about a world that's been given up from and pretty much left for dead, even by the gods. Through the thick broiling mist, you see a gothic black castle in the distance. It seems like the procession is moving in that direction.
Nice.
Then just follow. I must follow.
Quintilius looks around, immediately casts non-detection on himself, and just looks at the rest of you and says, "Shall we?" And begins to walk.
Non-detection.
Indeed. I'll move forward with grace. The big angry head on my right shoulder is perked up and it's like snarling like a dog at you guys, but very quickly settles and relaxes and sort of it looks like it falls back asleep.
Adira moves very silently, just keeps her head forward, doesn't really look at the others.
I suppose having someone to transcribe this meeting should help. And he snaps his fingers. This little ink blot shows up.
Yeah.
Aww.
I think I should say this. Oh, that's adorable. I probably should
That's
say
too
this.
cute.
I think specifically due to backstory things. Lucy, you
Yeah.
definitely recognize the robes because every now and then
Mm-hmm.
one of these figures in these robes will go to where you are to speak to you, to confide in you.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember this.
We discussed this. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
but it's random people, so.
Okay. I suppose out of the corner of my eye I see these robes and I it's the first time she's looked at someone in this entire sort of procession. And she just kind of watches the robes as they move along the floor.
And this one would nod to you.
Hmm. She also nods.
And just continues pretty quietly.
Yeah.
Getting awkward vibes.
Awkward turtle.
I just
Stop!
I just tell them all my secrets, you know, like all my secrets.
Hmm.
I look out. I stop and look out into the smoke. And then when everyone else has gone ahead, I fall into the back.
Yeah. This one does not break his stride. He simply walks. He keeps walking.
Just floats right up over that barrier.
Yep, just right over the barrier.
Hell
It just
yeah.
floats right up over.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, where's the? Oh, I guess it's the other side. Yeah, down there. Yeah. Yeah, he'll go that way.
The idea that all these like powerful devils approach the edge of it. And I'm like, well, stop! It's so funny.
And then he'll
Bridges
go
are
around.
eternally our greatest weekend.
It's true! It's true!
Sees the ravens.
Oh.
He is
Wait,
very
what?
glad he has the protection up.
Looks at
Ominous coin.
He looks at Quintilius, right? Quintilius?
Yeah.
Quintilius? Yeah. And he'll also give you a knowing nod. Well, not knowing nod, but you know, like we may have heard possibly, but of each other, but like an acknowledging nod to Quintilius.
Can I help?
I was just acknowledging that we are traveling together. That's all.
I don't trust this motherfucker.
Do you have books? Do you have books available? Like, are books like seen on you?
On me? No.
Okay.
I would like to, perchance, with my detect magic up, make maybe an Arcana check to see what this guy's deal is.
It's a vibe check.
Alright.
Yeah, go ahead. First roll?
First roll.
First roll, and it's a vibe check on art.
I gotta change everything to toggle because I forgot to change it when I made the character like an idiot. Alright. And you said Arcana? Yeah.
yeah, I can't just fine, I think.
Looks
Yeah,
like a
Oh my
basic old
God.
man.
just a small roll.
Jeez.
Looks like a basic old man. I don't know what to do with that. That's up to you, Shan. Arcana,
I think that,
detect
yeah,
I
look
could
at
tell
detect
him
magic.
what's magic.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair, because that's what they're looking for. They're just vibe checking and
Yeah.
detecting magic. Yeah.
So, I guess you could tell. There's probably something in one of his pockets that seems magical. I don't really know what kind of magic it would be technically, based
Fair
on
enough.
that.
Oh man.
But there's another thing that looks like, and you probably see glimpses of it as he's walking. There's like a small little pouch on his side, and that also seems like there's magic coming from that. Again, I don't know what that kind
Fair.
of magic would be. Maybe.
Yeah,
you
there's
can.
like a list. Yeah.
It's like a bag.
Yeah.
Actually,
I mean, it's like
they
ominous,
would know-
like
actually, they
devil
would know.
magics.
Okay.
I'm assuming they would know,
Yeah.
considering what this is. Bag of holding.
Oh yeah.
You would know what
Yeah,
that looks
yeah.
like. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say with the 28, you get like ominous vibes. You get a lot of powerful magic, probably the same caliber as yourself. One might say same level. I think that there's more than meets the eye, but with the 28, it's kind of hard to really determine exactly What?
Oh,
Fair
right.
enough.
There's like a necklace too. I forgot. There's like a little like talisman also.
Oh my
that
god, he's
probably
dripped
has
out.
like
He's dripped out.
some sort of magic, but it's like
Oh.
hidden underneath the robes. So you
Now
don't
that
see it, but
now that you've said that, there is something I forgot to say about Quintilius. He does have a like small purple stone orbiting around one of his horns.
that's cool.
Dripped out.
Dripped out.
Coolio. You stand in front or on the steps of this large kind of gothic black castle.
Well, if you ever want to see beyond sight, this one could introduce you to the Faceless One. You just need ask. He said that to Quintilius as he stepped forward.
And if you ever need to know more knowledge, you need not go beyond me. My power does not stem from elsewhere. And he walks ahead.
Period.
He'll open the door and go in, if it opens.
Yes, it does open. It is. It swings open easily, kind of like hollow wood. Quintilius enters inside.
As does this one.
Two of them enter inside.
I turn to look at this.
He looks back, makes a very polite, actually, gesture with his hand to insist that you go on.
There's like a solid few seconds where she stares and she's so still she looks she could be a statue. And then she turns and walks through the door.
Diz will follow.
Awesome. You enter inside this castle. You enter inside the castle. You can drag yourselves out in the south part of the room, where the door is.
Oh no, there's rats. Oh god.
Have I ever been in here?
Oh, I don't think anyone has been here before.
Okay.
You enter into almost like a chapel receiving area. This place is harrowed and dead. There is kind of fog which dissipates at the door, and ahead there's a statue of a crying boy on the lap of, it seems like a woman. It's almost as if this statue once was one thing and now is another. The woman peers up, and you see kind of glint of something in her eyes, something malicious, something conniving. You can hear chatter from somewhere further on in the hall. Could I grab a perception check from everyone?
You can have that. I was also about to ask, could I see if there are any devils suck. Is there any like sort of magic circles or things Quintilius would recognize on the ground, vis-a-vis like checking for traps?
Oh, yeah, no, there's no traps here.
Okay.
Incredible. There's one of your heads growls at the corner of the room.
Something wrong. Turn, look.
Oh.
My lords! What a pleasant surprise!
Do we know this man?
Yes, you likely would have heard of this guy. His name's Archdevil Arbiak.
Can you spell
He
that?
is... Yeah, absolutely. He is a kind of gaunt old man. He looks very unwashed, very disheveled. He's clad in these kind of ragged pants and a tattered coat. He's got this kind of stringy grey hair, yellowed skin. He's like nearly 8 feet tall. So he's bloody huge. But beneath the shredded clothing, you can see his flesh is kind of hanging in strips from his bones, and his innards are swarming with insects. This is the Lord of Decay, as it is known. Sorry, let me get to you. Arbayak. Prince of Swarms. He's a kind of CDO guy. He just kind of emerges from the corner where he was just standing.
My lord. That's a nod of the head.
Ah, Lord Diz!
These kind of ominous, sickly green eyes focus on the middle head, the head that seems the most active.
Indeed. Looking
I
around.
hear that it was your hand that had brought the Lord of Kenya to us.
It was. He looks suspiciously at Arbiak. It was. As it so often is, I take pride in my capacity.
Of course you do.
He lifts his chin proudly.
Indeed, and seems there is a small entourage. Would you introduce me to your friends?
I know not their names. They can introduce themselves.
I think at this point, since at first he was pretty much going to walk all the way ahead, but now hearing people talk behind him, this one turns. Caladan.
Ah,
The eyes kind of flitter and land on you. And there's a kind of lift of one of his gangly old hands. And there's like a kind of fly that buzzes off and kind of heads in your direction as if kind of surveying you a little bit closer. And he says,
how kind of the Faceless One to show.
The Faceless One always shows.
he smiles. There's a sickly kind of rotten teeth.
Of course. I always admire that which does not decay.
It merely fades.
Of course, the Faceless One would have no agenda but to be present.
Caladan nods.
There's a kind of flit of his eyebrows, like doubt, and then he kind of turns his attention to look between Quintilius and Adira.
I think when he mentioned admiring things that do not decay, she'd looked at him very... She just looked his way, expecting him to look at her.
And look at her, he does. And both eyebrows kind of furrow down as if he's trying to investigate. I have not seen you before.
I do not often leave my post.
And where is that, if I may ask?
The vaults.
His eyebrows pop up in surprise. What an occasion, then.
My lord, what is the meaning of this? Sorry.
You're fine.
I just like to see who is struggling last. You hear the sound of someone approaching outside as well.
Turn my head towards the door in great anticipation. Something seems funny.
It seems that he does not stir necessarily. He's watching the wizard.
Ooh.
You may call me Quintilius, Prince of the Gilded Chain.
Ooh.
Quintilius, Prince of the Golden Chain.
Gilded. Words are important.
To you, it seems. Kind of snickers and turns towards the door just as these people step through.
His deals must suck.
Oh.
These two step through.
Jesus.
Yikes.
Just a few guys. Just some guys.
What up, homies? What up?
What's up?
Drinks?
Do they have Aussie accents?
They're like, "G'day, mate. How you going?
Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi. What's going on?" They walk in. You know, the one leading the way is smaller, but again is like solid 7 foot tall at least. This is Brother Adramalik, and the larger one in the back is Brother Morak. They are, I guess, kind of like hounds. They're kind of like grunts. They're kind of leaders in the Blood War. They're known to be very fearsome fighters. They're also known to be assassins that specifically hunt demon kind. This is their job. They step through and they regard the group briefly, for a few seconds, and move around and through.
Interesting. I acknowledge them with a bow of the head.
And if no one stops them to speak, they will disappear down one of the corridors towards where the noise and congregation seems.
Do we know who they work for?
They work for Bell.
Okay.
Who is currently the leader of Avernus.
Copy that.
Awesome. Brother Arbiak says, I suppose we better get going then.
So if words do not matter, how do your deals become real?
He turns very slowly and looks over at the wizard. My deals are usually uttered through decaying teeth, and I find it is more intention at that point.
Interesting.
It looks at your little ink friend
It's just
and smiles.
flapping along next to me.
What a peculiar little imp.
Yes. These are the things you can attain when you use proper wording.
He thinks about it. I want a little friend. I might use words properly. Incredible. You move up towards the congregation. Is there anything that you would like to do before you move into a room with a lot of people?
Yeah. I genuinely meant to do this earlier, but I didn't. Quintilius is gonna wait until everyone walks ahead a little bit and cast Foresight on himself.
Cool. Magic and a magic, magic and a magic, magic! You do so. You feel so foresighted. Your brain is enormous. All the possibilities. Anyone else? Anything?
I forgot about Little Bro Stub. I would like to make sure that is straggling somewhere behind. Not too close to me because he stinks, but just somewhere nearby.
Yeah, of course. Yes, absolutely. Little bro isn't either. Though he's kept kind of quiet.
Good. He'll embarrass me.
He will. He will. I will give a bit of forewarning that I have a very long monologue ahead. So if there's any kind of conversations that you want to have, they're probably best done now. Any kind of commentary to be made?
Yeah, I go up to I go up to Caladan and I say, "You seem to know everyone else here, bro. Why aren't we friends? What's the deal? You avoiding me?"
If you want, we can be friends. You just need to accept what the Faceless One has to offer.
We'll consider it.
Is that not called a cult?
I wouldn't use those words, considering words need to be chosen carefully.
Based.
That was careful, my friend.
Perhaps you would both benefit from learning that sometimes it is best not to speak at all.
Looks at wisdom score. Nah.
Let me have it.
Ironic, if she could, Adira would smile to herself at that and just remain silent.
We apologize if this one offended to you. He says to one of the heads, whichever head is saying that.
It's always the middle head. It's always the middle head.
Right.
Always the middle head. Fret not.
Go ahead.
So I just fret not. I just said fret not.
Oh.
Okay.
We are simply speaking, considering the conversation we've heard. But this is an opportunity for all of us to get to know each other, since we haven't met. Some of us. And then he just turns and just keeps going.
Oh.
My name is never mind. You consider it.
Got it.
Something amiss about that one. Side eyes Doctor Strange is like, well, maybe.
Incredible.
I think Quintillius will just say, I think there's more than one of them, and walk in.
What the hell? Look back. My second head, the angry red devil square head, goes freaks, and I look in as well.
My second head calls them freaks. I'm so
Well,
tired.
I cast wish to delete the head.
Please!
Or another head.
No!
head.
Oops, all heads.
Oops.
Cool. I believe it's a deer left in the hall, and no Quint is off.
Oh,
A deer and Diz, maybe?
unless anyone like actually spoke to her, she was just gonna walk in first because she's keen to be there
Cool.
when he arrives.
Indeed. Diz in the hallway?
Yeah, I'll follow. I'll go in.
Nice. Okay, cool. I am gonna drag you to the map first, because I feel like I'm gonna blow up a shit ton of tokens. And then we can get into it. And then I can start my very long monologue. Alright, let's roll. Let's rock!
I'm ready. Oh, yes.
Okay. You
Lovely.
drag yourselves down to the south of this map. There's a few people around. Let me blow up some tokens. Just some guys. Just some folks. Just some guys, some peeps.
Oh, he's my friend.
Wait a
You
minute.
also see... Oh!
No, we're good.
You also see the Lords of the Nine all up in the front.
Nice.
The only one that doesn't seem to be here is Levistus. And obviously, the guy in chains. Mephisto. She's just a gal. What can she say? Awesome. All right. You walk into the room. You gather in a vast, echoing amphitheater that seems like it's carved from obsidian and bone. It is cold and dead here, though the air hums with the weight of lore that stands older than time. Just because it's lawful doesn't mean that it's good, though, for this hall is filled with devils of all notorieties, and at the forefront are the Lords of the Nine, too immense in their power to comprehend. It's almost surreal to see them sat beside each other, unprecedented. You see the chained one in the center of the room is none other than the Lord of the Eighth, Mephistopheles. His shoulders hunched, his back to the court, his skin taut with fury hardly concealed. You feel like there's an absence here, like a gaping wound. There's a tension that rolls in the air like a gathering tide. Even the most arrogant of the devils quieten down, and the air itself stills,
pillars of flame erupt through the court. Heat so immense it burns devil's skin. A multi-headed form emerges, holding a ruby rod that sparks with power. Everyone bows their head to Asmodeus, who emerges out. And sits down at the front of the room on the throne. And you see, trembling beneath the weight of his gaze, a fury begins the proceedings. She stands. You does probably know her. Her name is Bale. She says, "All rise for the Lord of Nessus, the first devil, the king of contracts, Asmodeus." And everyone stands. And Bale turns, pulls out a large scroll. "Mephistopheles, Lord of Canaya, you stand accused of high treason against the supreme throne, conspiracy with the abyssal host, misappropriation of soul property across realms, and consorting with Daemonkind, one by the name of Morgrim. Do you deny these charges?" I see Mephisto, who is the devil wrapped in chains, kind of rolls their shoulders back and almost tries to shake them off. He says, "No! I deny nothing! But I demand the truth! Not some sanitized tale for sycophants!" And Bale is clearly ignoring him and turns to the audience and says, "Lords, ladies, dignitaries, Mephisto and his co-conspirator Morgrim schemed together to harvest an entire plane of souls using an artifact called the Black Diamond. But they were thwarted by some petty mortal adventurers and by the Bloom, a Bitopian construct, a soul defense. The Bloom sent by the primordial chitin rerouted the souls, and instead of hell, the infected individual souls found sanctuary in the Bitopian conflux pools, ripe for reincarnation back into Bitopia. This is, of course, all according to the demon-kind Morgrim." There's the sound of something ripping as another portal seems to appear, and stepping through it, kind of shadowy, gaunt, looming figure with curling horns. He brings someone in tow with him. You have not seen this man before. In this campaign, at least. The person that he brings is a human-looking woman. She has chains binding her wrists, and it seems she follows in immense subjugation. Morgrim emerges from the portal. "You speak my name like a curse, Bale. That's no way to speak of a friend." And you see Mephisto, hearing Morgrim's name, kind of whips their head around and says, "You snake! You wanted the eye for yourself! You were my dog!" From the shadowy figure, there's a kind of smirk. He says, "Oh, you pathetic old fool. I was your mirror. You taught me the game, and I just played it better." He turns and looks up to Asmodeus. "Lord of Nessus, to you I exposed the Blackwoods and the Crest families who trafficked the souls. I uncovered the Bitopian reincarnation cycle, and I gave you Mephisto." And he bows low, his coat kind of behind him. He says,
Now I ask one thing. Let me rule Kanaya in his place. There's a gasp that rips through the court from all the devils, who immediately make eye contact with one another. This is unheard of. And Asmodeus finally speaks for the first time in court, lifts a hand, says, "You are not mine. You were born in chaos. And yet, never have I seen one more like a devil." Breathes in, kind of lifts his chin. "Do not lie to me, for all lies come from me and I know their face. Where is your allegiance now in the blood war, with demons or with devils?" Morgrim doesn't seem to stir from the immensity of Asmodeus' gaze, which is a task in itself, and he says, "It suits me much better to act as a devil, my lord, even if I was not born so." There's a kind of flicker of amusement on Asmodeus' face, and a look that is scheming, briefly, for the more perceptive of you. He lifts one finger up, and you hear Mephisto scream in agony. And the chains kind of constrict around him. You can see like muscles bulging through from how tight they're bound. And you see his title is burnt from his flesh. And Asmodeus says, "The frost is broken. Let the fires of ambition take its place." And with a flick of his wrist, there's a blazing red sigil, the symbol of Kanaya, which embellishes itself on Morgrim's chest. And Morgrim grits their teeth, but does not falter, doesn't fall, seems to take the weight of this well. Asmodeus says, "I reward the initiative that you've taken, and I dub you Morgrim, devil by name of the 8th, Lord of Kanaya." There's a kind of shock that moves through the crowd, like a ripple, a kind of murmur of unhappiness, which is quickly silenced as Asmodeus says, "A word of advice, demon. Earning the seat of Kanaya is one thing. Keeping it is another." And Mephisto, who's positively trembling with rage, says, "This trial is a sham! A devil's seat given to a demon, and you turn on me, brothers!" He looks to the rest of the 9, and all of them look down their nose at him. No one stirs. "What is hell without ambition? What is hell without cunning?" Asmodeus looks upon him again and says, "Hell doesn't punish ambition. Hell punishes failure." And he finally rises, and you can feel the air kind of bending around. There's rivers of flame which start to rise outside from the full height, and there's heat like a blazing inferno, the heart of a sun, enough to shed the skin of devils, enough to shed your skin, blaring enough that mortals would simply disintegrate in the presence. It's blinding. None can really look upon him. And Asmodeus looks down and says, "Mephistopheles, for your attempt to forge mutinous alliance with the Abyss and the demon lords within it, for the crime of turning your back on your brothers and sisters in the face of war, and for your worst crime of all, failure and exposed treachery, I deem you guilty. As punishment, I hereby unmake your record, strike your name from all ledgers in hell. Your banner will rot, your titles will wither. You will be no more a devil than ash is flame. I sentence you not to death. That is a gift of which you are too pathetic for. I do not even sentence you to eternal torment. That requires more effort than you are worth, even for the lowest Lemure. Instead, I sentence you to Carceri, where the failed gods rot, and you faceless among them. Here you shall remain, cast out, condemned, chained, forevermore. So I say it, so it shall be." Kind of nod from the crowd, and a shriek from where Mephisto stands as he is pulled somewhere horrible, somewhere else, somewhere not here. The court seems to be dismissed, Asmodeus turns to leave, the first of many. And then a feminine voice echoes through. This woman has stood up. You don't actually recognize her. She appears tiefling-like, but does not seem native to the Hells as far as you're concerned. Lord Asmodeus, before you leave, we ought to discuss. Asmodeus turns and says, "You presume to interrupt me, wretch." She says, "I presume nothing, Lord. I only take initiative, as you so encourage in your devotees." He kind of grunts in acknowledgement, like he'll give it a second. She says, "There is the issue of the yoke sky." Lord, you burn bright in my visions. I've seen your hand in the shifting of moons. I beg you, humble as I am the priestess of the twin-headed basilisk, and I ask you to help us with the twin sky. He almost is in disbelief. He's very incredulous at the fact. He says, "I care little for your self-given accolades. This worm-infested hole is so far beneath the station of hell you could hardly see the rear end of our most pathetic imp. I can smell your deceit from here, which you would use my help as power manifest." And she says, "Of course not. Lord Asmodeus, I only wish to protect my home." This kind of looming gargantuan figure booms. "And what of the basilisks? Do they bring mention of the yoke sky?" And the woman kind of stirs uncomfortably. And she says, "It was predicted that we would tumble into great darkness, Lord." "And not light?" "No, not light." You hear the doors of the hall creak open. 3 figures become visible. You see fangs of white, which continue to open into a gape until they kind of slam down in a weighty chomp. The first enters a dog-like creature who wears a hood that conceals all else but his teeth. There's a little freak of a dude who's kind of wearing shoes like a jester or elf. He seems part balding, one eye half closed, hands shaking, nails cracked, falling off and blackened. And the final person to enter is a lanky, shadowy figure with a weakened chin tucked against their chest, who wears rags for clothes. They seem to be clutching a kind of shiv in their hand. They enter into the hall. All eyes on them. And the dog man speaks and he says, "My lords, we have caught liquid from the yoke sky. It is raining." Asmodeus looks upon them and says, "Speak, child. You say it rains from the yoke." The dogman says, "We saw it from the kitchens, my lords. We went out together immediately. We thought, the court ought to know. Forgive me for speaking out of turn. I've seen faces in the yoke sky, and it's starting to ooze. We caught it, my lords, for you." See the squat thing wobbles up and gives it as a gift to this woman, the priestess, and says, "Yes, you take yoke water, be careful, my lady, the yoke sky, it bleeds." She kind of snatches it from him, and Asmodeus says, "Bring it to me." And the woman walks up to the dais, walks up to the front of the room, and brings Asmodeus this vial of yoke sky water. You see in the distance, this guy shifts uncomfortably. You also don't recognize them. The dog says, "Be careful, my lord. We know not what properties it contains." And Asmodeus takes the vial in his hand and says, "You are all liars. You think you can deceive me, the Prince of Lies?" And he smashes the bottle on the floor. You see the acid burn straight through the old cathedral stone. Asmodeus points. "All of you, deceivers!" And there's a rupture, a sundering
like an exploding star. There's burning white hot flame, and in the time between seconds, you see all the various forms of teleportation swallow the powerful devils. Disvader disappears through an iron door appearing from nothing. Mammon slips through a wound in space that bleeds gold. There's pillars of flame that lace Belial, Fionia, Glacia. Locusts consume Beelzebul. Bell disappears in a glyph of blood. Blip, blip, blip. All the other devils start to disappear in the seconds between time. Amnesu, Erinyes, Cornugons, Nazagons, Chained Devils, Orthons. Some aren't quick enough. And before the second ends, the fort of the Shadow King, the castle of Galgenbeck, is reduced down to rubble. And above the smouldering rubble, the yoke dawns on the Carcerian sky. And that's where we're going to end this session. But you got to catch us next time when we're back. Because we're coming back, baby. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh my god.
Always appreciate you. So much love for our fans out on the Twitch.
Hell yeah.
You can't do that and
Holy
then start
shit.
beatboxing, dude. What the hell?
We'll catch you next time. Bye, stream. Everyone say bye,
Bye-bye.
stream.
Oh my god, bye, stream.
Hi, stream. Love you guys.
Bye,
Thanks
stream.
You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and I've said it since our creation. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights? You look like heaven when you lie. You sound so sweet when you cry. But I've been watching since you fell. I felt your wings burn as well. We're no longer servants in the sky, but only one of us can rule in hell. You're pouring words down my throat again of history's greatest deception. How every man thinks that they're a god, and they've said it since our creation. Aren't they lovely, these eternal nights?